Here they come.
Welcome to another episode of Here They Come. I'm Kate Lockhart.
I'm Paul Ramlow.
And we're here to bring you all the harness racing news from this week. Paul, why don't you kick us off with a story from around the world?
The top New Zealand pacer, Auckland Reactor, has begun his journey to the United States for a 2010 campaign with trainer Kelvin Harrison. It was reported in the USTA newsroom last month that Auckland Reactor's owners will pay about $40,000 to stake him to the richest open events in North America this year. He certainly has the credentials to compete here. He's one of the fastest pacers New Zealand has ever seen. He has a career record of 25 wins and 31 starts down under, with $1.4 million in earnings in his bankroll.
Yeah, it was interesting to see John Curtin, who's a part of the Auckland Reactor Syndicate, said they have a clear goal in mind. They're coming here in the hopes that Auckland Reactor can set a new record for the mile, a new world record, for older pacers for the mile. And I'll be curious to see if he can pull it off. I know they're excited about the opportunity the horse has in the States. They said he did everything he could possibly do in New Zealand, so they're looking for some new accomplishments, bigger and better things for the horse. It'll be great to watch him race. Well, last week, Wally Hennessy reached a new career milestone. He got his 7,500th win at Pompano Park.
Yeah, Wally is one of the class guys in the sport of harness racing, a Hall of Famer, always with the perpetual smile on his face, just a wonderful individual. His success has been documented very often over the years. A very successful driver in the New York Sire Stake program. Spends most of his season down in South Florida at Pompano Park, one of their all-time leading drivers.
Yeah, it was nice to see in the article that ran in the New USTA newsroom that he said he has no intention of even considering retiring, which I thought was nice. It seems he's really enjoying the ride he's having. Nicole Kraft caught up with Wally and asked him a little bit about the milestone, as well as the big night of racing coming up on Pompano this weekend.
Wally, it's great to talk with you. How's the weather in Florida?
Oh, it's great to be talking to you, Nicole. It's beautiful down here. What's it like up there?
It's a little colder than I'm sure you're used to. But things have been pretty sunny down there. I saw just winning your 7500th win. What's that like for someone like you who's accomplished so much, Hall of Fame, driving great horses, but to reach a milestone like 7,500 victories?
You know, it's something I'm very proud of, to be able to have won 7,500 races. But I just go day to day, and the numbers add up. And as long as you keep winning, you know, the numbers will keep adding up. And right now, I'm healthy and feel good, and probably driving as good as I ever have. So if I get the opportunities, you know, I should be able to add some more to it.
Well, speaking of driving, I have a question here from Dave Brousseau, who wrote into us on Facebook, and he wanted to ask you, as drivers, you can only put horses in position to get a check, but how frustrating is it for you as a driver when you pull a horse and simply can't move forward?
There's a lot of different things go into getting to the winner's circle that maybe the public really doesn't realize, like starting from, you know, the groom and the barn and the training all week, and, you know, the horse isn't feeling good or is feeling good. As a driver, you know, that's been driving for 35 or whatever years, I go out on the racetrack wanting to put my horse in position to win every time, but that doesn't necessarily happen because there's 8 or 9 other drivers with the same, that are thinking the same way. So it's tough.
I'm sure. Pompano's getting ready for a big night down there. I saw that they did away with those stakes that they've had in the past and kind of traded it in for this big Saturday night extravaganza they're going to have this weekend. What do you think about the changes that they've made in this big night coming up Saturday?
I think the management here at Isle of Capri is trying to tie in with the Super Bowl. With the Super Bowl being here this weekend, they're kind of trying to tie in harness racing with it, and they thought it'd be a good idea if they gave away some better purses, which for the male pacers they're going to go for $50,000, the female pacers are going to go for $30,000, and the open trotters for $30,000. So, and it gives the local guys and the local trainers and the local owners a chance to go for some pretty good money. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, you've certainly had your opportunity to go for some pretty good money and drive some pretty good horses. I'm involved with the Halters for Hope charity that we do, where we get halters and people purchase them to help horses have alternate careers when they're done with racing. And we just got a Moneymaker halter in. Made me think about you and think about all those great races and the great years you had with Moneymaker. Tell us about that. What was that like from being on the inside with such a great horse?
Basically, what Moneymaker did is she made me and she ruined me. She made me in the way that she put my name out there, and along with everybody else that was involved, whether the owners and the trainers. As far as ruining, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that I'm always comparing, to her, and there is no comparison.
And you're a champion too, Wally. It is great to talk with you. I can't tell you what a thrill it is, and I hope you have a great time enjoying that weather in Florida. You certainly deserve it after all those winters in Prince Edward Island.
Okay, thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Nikki, and special thanks to Wally Hennessy for joining us this week on Here They Come.
Well, last Saturday, the O'Brien Awards were handed out up in Canada, and Muscle Hill was picked as Canada's best. And for more on Muscle Hill, Nicole Kraft caught up with Greg Peck.
Congratulations, Greg. I'm sure this is the first of many honors that's going to come Muscle Hill's way, but what was it like for you as a Canadian to go up to Canada and win the highest award that a horse can receive?
The fact that I was from up there, I was very happy to get it. I mean, it was a big thrill, and I told them that because I also said that I feel that the Canadian Trotting Classic is near Hambletonian, so to go up there and get that and get the Horse of the Year was really something.
I'm sure these awards are great, Greg, but it's got to be a little sad to go back now and remember all the great races that he had and realize that, Muscle Hill is done racing. Tell me, what do you think he means to the sport?
Yesterday I talked to Mike Clow, the syndicate manager, and I said that to Mike, and, because a lot of people have said, I wish he would race next year, and why doesn't he? And so I started to think the same way myself. Well, why didn't he? But in fairness to the whole situation, Mike tells me that the way that the syndication and the book set up, you could not have had anything else go any better than it did. And frankly, you never know in a year's time what that'll mean if he would get the syndication appeal that he had, if he would get all of the great mares in the book. So, you got to look at that positive light, that hopefully what we'll see is a lot of great Muscle Hills out there that'll be good for the business.
Yeah, it probably won't be the only hardware Muscle Hill captures this year. He, of course, is a Dan Patch Award winner as 3-year-old Trotting Colt of the Year in the United States, and he will be the favorite, most likely, to be Horse of the Year when the Dan Patch Awards are handed out officially at the end of February at Yonkers Raceway.
All right, well, now it's time for this week's Hollywood Minute, featuring Bob Hollywood Heyden. It's brought to you by Hoofbeats Magazine, reporting with horsepower.
Well, Bob, we're heading into February, which of course means that harness racing is going to name its Horse of the Year come the end of the month. The Thoroughbreds got the jump on us, of course. Rachel Alexandra took the title from Zenyatta. What kind of similarities do you see between their Horse of the Year battle and our Horse of the Year situation?
I find it very interesting that they're both coming back, Rachel Alexandra and Zenyatta. I think the vote was 130 to 99. They're both come back, so that sets up a great mare matchup. And some memories for us, because we had a match race between Worldly Beauty and Bunny Lake back in 2003. Eternal Damnation, Bunny Lake, a couple of years there. Darlin's Delight and My Little Dragon were going at it last 3 or 4 years. If you go back to the 70s, Silk Stockings and Tarport Hap. But not just mare matchups. We need rivalries. Western Ideal and Dragon again, Genghis Khan Beecha. It makes for great racing. Campbella, It's Fritz. A lot of anticipation. So I think that'll be a really great thing for thoroughbred racing to look forward to. When they announce our Horse of the Year at the end of the month, it's not going to be as much drama. Muscle Hill ran the table, so just a question of whether it's unanimous or not.
Well, speaking of Horse of the Year, I have a stumper for you. We didn't get one from our audience, but I wanted to offer one up myself. Moneymaker, we talked a little bit earlier, Wally Hennessy, about Moneymaker. She's the last Horse of the Year we had who won back-to-back titles. But who did it before her? What was the horse, and what years did that horse do it?
Well, that was Mac LaBelle in 87, 88. And oddly enough, I think sometimes a horse is known more for a race they didn't win than when they did win. I think Mac LaBelle's most famous race might be the March of Dimes, where he was third.
Great stuff. All right, Bob, it's great to talk with you, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Great.
Thank you very much, Bob. If you'd like to be the next person to try to stump Hollywood Heyden, send your question to hoofbeats@ustrotting.com. I'd like to let all our listeners out there to know you can now subscribe to Here They Come on iTunes. Just go to iTunes and enter Here They Come or Harness Racing and sign up to be informed weekly on the happenings of Here They Come. You can also check out our Facebook page.
Those can be found at facebook.com/hoofbeatsmagazine or facebook.com/ustrotting.
We'd like to thank our special guests this week, Wally Hennessy, Greg Peck, Bob Hollywood Heyden, Nicole Kraft, and special thanks to Rich Johnston, the man pushing all the buttons here. We'd also like to thank you, our listeners, for your loyal support of Here They Come. I'm Paul Ramlow.
And I'm Kate Lockhart.
Join us again next week for another exciting episode of Here They Come.